afhe was incorporated in Arizona in March 1994. We decided that there needed to be a group of attorneys focused on the family business arena.
Well, a colleague of mine, Glenn Ayers, introduced me to afhe and said, Larry, this is a group you've got to come and see. He said, this is a group that will just fit you to a T. But I remember walking into the first conference in Arizona, and I knew exactly what Glenn was talking about. It was just perfect. I mean, I felt just right at home, right away. I mean, everybody was kind and helpful, and the questions that were asked and what was being talked about were questions I had asked and things that I had talked about in my own law firm, but the lawyers in my law firm weren't understanding what I was trying to say, and they couldn't respond to the questions, but all of these people knew exactly what I was talking about. It was just terrific.
It's a wonderful place because what we have are devoted attorneys coming together who really focus on some of the different needs of family businesses, not just trusts and estates, but tax issues, incorporation issues, family issues, the human assets of families.
This organization interested me because I think that it's really important for the professionals who work in this field to understand the human side of their work.
I think more than anything, afhe has sort of opened doors of awareness to me. It's made me a better lawyer as it relates to representing my clients, particularly my family clients, my family business clients. It's helped me a great deal to understand what they're about and what family dynamics really, how they work and how they relate to family businesses.
I first became aware of afhe when I was attending an FFI program, or maybe it was an ABA conference in San Francisco. John Hopkins, who's a lawyer in San Jose, and whom I'd gotten to know slightly in connection with family business advising, encouraged me to come to an organizational meeting of afhe. I went to that. It lined up with the kinds of things I wanted to know about too, and as soon as I was able, I went to the next conference.
When I arrive at an afhe meeting, it's like seeing a group of old friends. I've only known many of them for just a few years, but it's a very warm and open and welcoming group. I was made to feel at home right away at my first meeting. That was a big incentive for me to come back. And we do the same for every new member.
The beauty of afhe is not just the conference itself. So it's the camaraderie developed with all of the people who come. It's the friendship.
Every conference I've gone to, what I enjoy the most is the interaction with the members. I mean, I enjoy the presentations, and I always get good things out of the presentation. But this is a group that takes the presentations and they start tailoring the presentations to their own challenges, to their own problems. And so it's the experience of taking information that's being presented and applying it to real-life client situations that we all have in the room. And then we have the exchange going back and forth in the room, which is just terrific. I mean, that's what I enjoy.
Whether they are part of a large practice or they're sole proprietors or part of a smaller practice, I think everyone needs a community where there is an active commitment to learning and to sharing information and expertise, and afhe is an organization that does that. People are genuine, they are intelligent, they're experienced, and they're willing to share that experience with one another. And it's a great organization. I've been very privileged to be part of the organization and to be a board member for so many years.
I think that's what attracts most of the lawyers to this organization, the knowledge that comes from this kind of interchange with these kinds of advisors providing similar kinds of advice to similar kinds of clients around the country allows us to share experiences and techniques and ideas with each other.
The beauty of afhe is its collective wisdom. It is so huge. We're talking about lawyers from Canada, lawyers from California, lawyers from Connecticut, lawyers from Florida. We all bring that together with the years of experience, understanding the difficulties of working in the law profession alone, as well as working with family businesses. And we share that together.
This is not a group that has cliques. This is a group that it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter how long you've been practicing, it doesn't matter if you're male or female or where you're from or how large your practice is or even what you do. I mean, if you're trust in estates or corporations or I mean, we even had some people who had a strong litigation background but was attracted to family business. It doesn't make any difference. It's welcoming across the board. Everybody here has the same common interest, and that's working with family businesses and trying to help them. I mean, they care.
As I see it, the mission of afhe is to educate attorneys with the special issues relating to families and family businesses and family representation. That incorporates very much the soft side of the practice. As I said before, we can get the technical stuff, information from other organizations that focus on that. This, as far as I know, is the only legal organization that does focus on the special issues relating to individuals and families.
Many attorneys are trained to look at their interaction with clients as a series of transactions. And I think afhe members know that the work they do with clients are a series of linked transitions. And because of that, they understand that you cannot just create an estate plan and then move on to the next client. That if you're going to serve that complex, multi-generational family client who may have businesses, may have investment portfolios of family office, real estate holdings, in addition to operating companies, and may have 3 or 4 active generations. The complexity of that client really speaks to the need for the professional advisors, first of all, to work as a team, an interdisciplinary team, and secondly, to understand the need for integrating human, social, and financial capital in their planning and implementation processes.
The name of afhe is an important aspect of that and helps explain what afhe is for. The acronym is Attorneys for Family Held Enterprises. This is intended to convey to the listener, to the member, that we're providing a number of different kinds of services as attorneys for enterprises which are owned, managed, run by families.
When you work with families in business, you understand that there are 2 parts. We have the family part, we have the business part, the enterprise part. And we as lawyers try to meld that together with our legal upbringing, our counseling skills that we learn as lawyers. The passion that I get is because it's so important to be working not only with the business, but with the family.
Afhe's not for everybody, that's for sure. I mean, I think afhe is particularly important for those of us who enjoy working with families and with people, who have that special empathy for that.
The key advantage of afhe membership, of taking in what others have to offer from the afhe organization, is to recognize that the advice we give to clients in this area, in this transition area, is not, strictly speaking, legal implementation work. This is not simply a matter of preparing the trusts and the buy-sell agreements and the entity organization charter documents. But it requires, to do a good job that's going to stick with the clients, it requires some understanding of family dynamics, of family systems, of how to solicit and develop a consensus among a family, within the family members, for how the organization should be moving forward.
If you're really interested in working with family businesses and you're trying to figure out how to do it, and you've talked to some of your partners or associates in your law firm, and you're still asking yourself the same questions, how do I do this and what am I doing? afhe's a good place to come. It's a good place to come and ask those questions because everybody who comes here has asked those same types of questions themselves.
As the organization goes forward, The need for the future is to build on our past, build on our own legacy, and expand our awareness, our knowledge, expand our education into family systems and family dynamics so that we're more and more aware of the way the family system is intimately involved with the business solution.
Our challenge, my challenge, has been to expand membership to younger members and to be and more diverse members. We'd like to involve more women in the organization. We have some wonderful women members, but we should broaden that.
afhe has an adjunct membership for non-attorneys, and the adjunct members are a very important part of our mission and objectives. We need to have people who aren't attorneys to provide some insight on what the attorneys are saying or what others are saying in our discussions and presentations.
I think it's important that attorneys see someone like me, who is not an attorney, who participates in this group actively and who really embraces the idea that attorneys work with multiple disciplines and that there is a place for people like me in their world.
I think the most important to me is the need for the younger lawyers who are coming out struggling from law school and being in new partnerships to know that there's an organization that they can come to and find a home.
As younger attorneys join us, they will have an opportunity to really see how to go back and light a fire under their colleagues about how important it is to understand the human family dynamics and how those dynamics will impact the planning process and the implementation process that the attorneys use.
As my age gets older and those of us who started this are getting older, we're seeking out younger attorneys to join in this journey. And it's a great journey because we've done such a wonderful job in learning about family businesses, how to help family businesses, and how to develop a practice that is unique for attorneys that have a passion for this work. In a few years, I will in fact no longer be on the board of directors. There will be a next generation that comes along, and that generation will take this to the next extent. And it is the passion that I have to pass the torch that is so important to me.